Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video, another AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. You join us on our go home show for Full Gear and hopefully a spectacular main event. I've went all out with this one. It's going to combine two of the big matches at Full Gear as we are going to see PAC team up again with Jon Moxley to take on MJF and Sammy Guevara. So really looking forward to that one. Just again continuing over storylines, making sure Full Gear's a success. I think Full Gear will probably use a few of the boosts just to try and make sure we get a guaranteed pop gain on our first pay-per-view on the new networks. So, without further ado, let's crack on with it. This is this week's Dynamite episode. So this week we're at the Hodges Stadium again, and this is the last event that Don Callis has done as a road agent. I basically made the change after I'd booked the show, and I thought we'll deal with him this week, and just made sure he wasn't the road agent in the main event. So we'll cover the pre-show matches. We had a decent matchup that saw Kyle O'Reilly defeat Shawn Spears in 904 with a brainbuster. That was a 55. A 67 performance for Kyle O'Reilly to the 51 of Shawn Spears. We had some 8-woman tag action as Abaddon, Priscilla Kelly, Ali and Penelope Ford defeated Big Swole, Diona Purrazzo, Mayu Iwatani and Riho in 10:29 when Abaddon picked up the win over Diona. A 48 here, quite a mixture of performances. The weakest I would say there from Penelope, Big Swole and Diona. However, quite encouraging, there's a few in the 50s there, which means people are getting over and are getting better in the ring, so that's certainly good for our women's division. We had Eddie Kingston defeat Colt Cabana in 10:04 with a backdrop driver. A 46 with Kingston's 47 playing up against Colt Cabana's 40. And we had Brian Pillman Jr. getting the victory over Kip Sabian with a Tornado DDT. These two had a 61, which saw Pillman with a 66 and Kip with a 49. And our main event of the pre-show saw a good matchup between Pentagon and Laredo Kid, and it was a top rope styles clash, giving Penta the victory. A 75, matching some of my main events recently, and Penta with an 86. It's just about finding a storyline for him, and he'll be back on the main broadcast. So I went all out to make sure that we got the 98 rating, and I went with the Big Hitters, MJF and PAC, alongside Commissioner Matchmaker Mick Foley. Already I see the segment deserved better announcing, and it's like, how much better can I make my announce team? I am literally with an 80. In fact, I think all three might be 90 actually, because I think Morrow's really high for commentary, as you would expect. So maybe it's just a case of, if it's going to get 100, you still need it to be better. But with my contract signing, we just said to Mick Foley, basically, if either guy touches each other, this matchup is off. So MJF, as much as you want to pull the fast sneaky one, if you touch PAC, you know, World Championship match, I will not hesitate to remove you from that. So basically it's all fine, it's all successful. A few words to each other, just basically saying that's if you even make it to Full Gear, because we've got this tag team match in the main event. But that takes pressure off the main event with a very successful opening promo. First match of the night was for the Mixed Tag Team Championships, and it was about, they had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, as the champions Kenny Omega and Hikaru Shida defeated the team of Jacob Fatu and his manager Kamile in 13:53 when Shida pinned Kamile with a Majo no Ishigeki. Omega and Shida make the third defence of the mixed tag titles, a very successful 74 here. Kenny of course still head and shoulders above the rest, and he's shone in this matchup, but hopefully the exposure helps the likes of Shida and Kamile. After the matchup, we basically have Kamile and Jacob talking. Kamile's apologising and Jacob Fatu goes, I don't care, I've had enough of this, I want to go my own way. I feel that you're holding me back. I'm sorry, but it's done. So ending this tenureship, basically ending the Titans as well. We've kind of slowly and quietly separated Jacob Fatu and Brian Cage. Obviously Cage has had the solo run recently, a couple of main matches, but yeah, that's just confirming that Kamile will still be with Brian Cage, but no longer with Jacob Fatu. That was a 64. We had a matchup that was terrible, and a Ricky Starks defeated Mark Quinn in 9:57 with the Buster Keaton. This was a 58 here. A 61 for Mark Quinn, a 53 for Ricky Starks, but obviously Mark's in a wee kind of solo act at the moment, and he also has a gimmick that's getting stale. So a good win for Ricky Starks, and hopefully a popularity increase. We'll change that gimmick another day. The Dark Order are back in their clubhouse, and it is of course the leader Sir Brody Lee giving a pep talk to Anna Jay, Abaddon, Priscilla Kelly, Uno and Grayson, and Silver, and of course the injured Alex Reynolds. And he's just basically prepping Abaddon and Priscilla Kelly for their tag team championship match coming up at Full Gear. I basically just saying to Anna Jay, there's still things we're working out with you, but the promise is there, the potential is there, you just have to listen to me, and you'll be more than a star of the show. So 46 there, Brody Lee looks excellent. We had a good matchup that saw Rey Fenix return to action as he took on Joey Janela, and he wins in 6:40 with a Meteora. A simple but effective victory for Phoenix. Just put one there with a decent opponent, and a short matchup gets a 72 rated match. Nothing more to add. We're going to have the Acclaim take on the EU, so we get our weekly Max Caster and Anthony Bones promo, which was a 33. And they actually teamed up with, I keep forgetting this is an 8-man tag, but they had subpar wrestling and little heat as we teamed up the Jurassic Express with the EU to take on the champions Proud and Powerful and the Acclaimed, and it was a 9:50 victory for Jungle Boy over Anthony Bowens. So a 65 in total for this matchup, so good exposure for the Acclaim, putting them with the champs Proud and Powerful, and they can take the fall so the champs are protected, but a good win, and gives all the confidence in the world to the Jurassic Express going into the tag match on Saturday. We then had AJ Styles in the ring, and he said it's been a while since he's been used on AEW television, and he's not got a match up for Full Gear, so he's tired and sick of this. These are the last couple of years of his career. He still wants to be challenging for world titles, so he challenges any guy to come forward and face him at Full Gear. So a 67. Predictions in the comment section who you think it's going to be. It's one match I'm looking forward to. I don't think it'll get higher than a 70, but I think it could still be a pretty solid matchup with a historical connection to AJ Styles. Our weekly Dr. Britt Baker match, she defeats Sadie Gibbs in 7:13 by pinfall. Just a 26 here, both are still considered pre-show, but we have to do what we do to get Dr. Britt Baker over, and obviously she's just got to get the momentum up before she gets the wins over higher overness opponents. And then just our usual promo, how good she is, good that she's got her own allocated time on Dynamite. Take notice because it's only going to be more and more Dr. Britt Baker time. We then had a promo that was put together by Don Callis, and it was just Saraya and Kyrie basically saying they're frustrated with the attack from Penelope and Ali, but they're looking forward to getting their revenge this Saturday at Full Gear. They haven't come back to wrestle just to be beaten up. They're here to win and to put on a show for the AEW fans. So looking forward to that one. Another good solid match in the women's division. 60 for that rating. Then had another women's matchup where Chris Statlander gained some momentum before she takes on Mercedes Varnado at Full Gear, and she defeated Cassie in 7:43 by pinfall. Actually pretty good, that's a 58 rated matchup. Cassie's obviously respectably over here, but just a good person for Statlander to get a win over before facing Mercedes. Then have a little promo on the backstage area with Prince Devitt. That's a 76. He says he's looking forward to the matchup with Darby Allin. It's been good to play mind games on him. When it comes to him, it's someone that he sees a lot of potential in, but he's still the Prince. He's still the real rock and roller, and he's just going to show the world that even though he was elsewhere for the past couple of years, he's still a world-class 5-star wrestler. Then we have Jon Moxley's promo for his match with Sammy Guevara, a very disappointing 71, but just says tonight's going to be a precursor for what's going to happen at Full Gear, when he's going to break down Sammy Guevara and basically wipe that cheeky smirk off the side of his face. He's going to basically make him a bloody mess when he throws him about that cage on Saturday. The main event, will it deliver? There we go! And about the had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat, the team of Sammy Guevara and MJF defeated PAC and Jon Moxley in 1946 when Sammy Guevara pinned Jon Moxley with a 6:30 following interference from Jake Hager. So in 87, all performances were really good here, and you think that's a matchup that lacked psychology, so we probably would have had a 90 odd rated match there had someone in there had a very good psychology stat. That just gives me a bit of worry for Full Gear, when obviously these are all in singles matches, so we might not quite hit the heights in 87 because obviously a tag match can make it a bit more easier, but still looking forward to it. And obviously Hager makes the interference, but Hager won't be able to get in the cage come Full Gear. I think the rating we might be in the 90s for this one. We might scrape it. Let's have a look. Oh, in 87 regardless, but that's how you get the pop back. And because of the worry the last couple of weeks, I felt like we really needed a strong main event here, and that's just boosted their popularity in 49 regions. You also hope as well, I don't know how much of an effect this would have, but if you have a massive show rating, you'd like to hope it would affect and boost your pay-per-view. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm hoping it's a thing, because if so, we could be in for making a lot of money this Saturday at Full Gear. So I'm just going to quickly run through the card while we get to the main screen. Oh, there's more people getting contracts. Ah, god damn it, those people want to sign. Shotzi's on my short list, so we'll be getting for her. A few other things to just quickly cover. I looked at Zelina, but I felt like we've got enough, and WWE are giving her a big contract. Obviously she's the wife of Tommy End, but I just didn't feel like it was worth bringing in. The Miz has had to retire. I put this on Twitter months ago when it actually happened. But basically because of his injuries, well, once he was a free agent, but the injuries just ruined him. The bad injury had, what was it he had? The upper lumbar spinal cord rupture, which put him out for nearly 14 months, just took its toll, and he's now retired. So he's with MLW in a written contract. I was tempted to bring him in as a manager, but I felt like maybe down the line it's not, so I don't want to bring in too many WWE folk, but yeah, quite interesting. 41, and yeah, Miz's career is over. So we'll look at Shotzi, because you'll see here that she pops up because she is on my short list, and the show itself was a 2.39. so we'll head on. We'll have that pay-per-view. The card is as follows: the AJ Styles Open Challenge. We have the women's tag titles on the line as Iwatani and Rio defend against Priscilla Kelly and Abaddon. We have Kairi Hojo and Saraya taking on Penelope Ford and Ali. We have Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Varnado. We have the TNT Championship on the line as Darby Allin faces Prince Devitt. The AEW Trios Championship as Best Friends defend against the End of War, Tommy End, Hanson, and Raymond Rowe. The AEW Tag Titles are on the line as Jurassic Express challenges Santana and Ortiz. Inside a steel cage, it is going to be Sammy Guevara taking on Jon Moxley. And for the AEW World Championship, we will see MJF challenge PAC for the gold. There might be an addition of a mixed tag match to put Kenny and Shida on the card, but overall I'm looking at that, and then a 4-week build to our show at the end of the year, which of course will be, at the moment it's the end of the line. I might change the name of it, like End of Year Spectacular or something, but main thing is Full Gear next. Let's go to Full Gear and get there. But yeah, apart from bad part aside, thank you very much for watching. It's much appreciated, and hope you're enjoying this AEW journey alongside us. So take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you for the pay-per-view in a few days' time. Bye bye.